Hey homeschool friends, welcome to my homeschool room. So I'm going to take you on a tour today. I'm going to start with a little caveat that of course you don't need a homeschool room, but I am really thankful for mine. I feel like it's in the perfect spot in our house that makes it just very accessible and very useful. So for us, my homeschool room, which is behind me, is right by our kitchen, which you can't see, it's just off screen. Our kitchen here and our deck is over here with our trampoline and play set and everything. So it's in just an amazing location. And so today I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you how I've set it up. I've set it up a bit differently this year. I've added some things. Every year's different and I'm totally fine with that. You have to adjust with your kids, and this is what we need for this year, and it's great. I really, really like it. And I've been using it for about a month, so it's well set up and very efficient to help me homeschool the kids throughout the day. So I'm gonna stop talking and let me take you on a tour of our 2023-2024 homeschool room setup. So we actually moved these desks, which I did a whole Get It Done With Me series this summer. I needed a computer station, which is what we set up over here. And so I just moved both desks to the side, and it actually freed up a lot of space in our room. I did get some new posters. I love these like vintage posters. I'll link them below. I like to get a couple new every year because I can just replace them in my little holders here. And I will try to link everything down below, or it is in my Amazon store. So go check that out if you have any questions about what we have, but feel free to ask me if it's not linked. And then you can see inside here I keep some stuff for the calendar, but mostly my son has a lot of his books for coding, as well as his headphones, because this is where he does his math, because we started using Nicole the math lady for both my kids. So my son works over here and my daughter works over in the other computer. And then we move over here into my bookshelf. I've given a bookshelf tour. I did a lot of work on this bookshelf in some of my Get It Done With Me videos, but I love the way it's set up. So from the top, actually, this is where I started storing our hands-on history and our science kit for Sunlight. I don't think it looks too cluttered if I kind of stack them nicely up there. I use those on the regular, so I just want them out. And then basically I have this bookshelf set up for accessibility. You can see these two big Sunlight binders here. So this means these are my Sunlight shelves. I'm running 2 HBLs this year. I'm running HBLK up here. So this is for my kindergartners. They are 5.5. And then I have HBLC here for my 2 big kids who are 9.5 and 8. And so this is HBLC. And then what I've done here is I keep stuff on this side that we are not currently using, and then stuff here that's kind of leaning. That's the stuff we use on the regular, so I can easily find stuff and easily put stuff back. And then you see these 2 baskets. These 2 baskets are my kids' readers from Sunlight. And so they're both kind of working through Sunlight Language Arts 3 with their readers. My son's ahead of my daughter, but she's working on the Pony Express one there. And so that's where I keep a lot of Sunlight. Now, I also have other levels of Sunlight, mostly up here because I need them for my twins as they are growing older. We have HBLA and HBLB here, as well as some of the Sunlight readers that have come out. I think that's Language Arts 1 and 2 right there. So a lot of stuff, a lot of Sunlight stuff, kind of these 4 shelves. All right, and then you get into kind of everything else. I will be doing actually a tour of these shelves, especially this one, because I'm going to be giving a tour of our early readers. And there's some chapter books my kids like. I actually have this file folder here. This is where I organize all of our Abeka stuff, because currently the only kiddos doing Abeka phonics are my kindergartners, and we're doing Abeka K5. So I keep all of our stuff, all the alphabet flashcards, as well as all the different sheets and learning tools, you know what I mean. So that's all Abeka stuff. And then over here, we have more read aloud books, chapter books, my cookbooks from the library. I just needed some place to stash those, but mostly read alouds and chapter books. Here's a little bit more Sunlight. So this is the pre-K Sunlight. The Exploring God's World is kind of in a stack over here. And then my other one I have lent out to a friend because I just kind of like to do that. People want to see if they want to try Sunlight, and it's easy to try out some of the younger levels. And then I have a lot of other wonderful picture books that are just kind of sentimental to me. This is the bin I keep my students' work in. After I take work out of their working binder, this is where it goes if I want to potentially put it in their portfolios for the year. So I keep it close by. And then more chapter books, more reference books. So these are more kind of science and poetry and music and nature books on that shelf. And then some maps and some dinosaur books, and then some middle grade books that my kids are not ready for yet. So that's a big look at our bookshelf. Really, it's kind of the heart of our homeschool because we are lit based. So I wanted to organize better how I have stuff for the kids. So what I brought up was this 8-plex from IKEA, and I gave them all a cubby. So my oldest is there, and in the magazine holder is where I keep worksheets. So this is the stuff I'll rip out and put into their working binders, which you can see there is his working binder. And then there's other stuff in here that he uses on the regular, like he uses a notebook, he uses his Saxon math, he pulls that out. He pulls out his spelling journal for Logic of English, and let's see, timeline book for Sunlight stuff. And then this is, it says 3rd grade notebook, but it's just a notebook we use to write out any copy work and stuff. And then he has his planner and his typing. And so that's his little cubby, and then it goes down to my daughter, and hers is very similar. It has her working binder as well as her Logic of English and stuff. To move down to my kindergartners, so they each have their own little magazine holder, like I said, and it holds all of their work, and then there's their working binders right there. So those 3 cubbies are for my kids, and then the rest is really for me and different things that we need on the regular. So up here is not necessarily stuff we need on the regular. It's like our homeschool records. I keep in there. I made some writing samples books for my kids, some extra resources there. And then this is where the pencils are. I just needed someplace consistent in here, and this is kind of tucked away enough that it doesn't get everywhere. And then this is where all of my teacher guides are. So like Saxon, as well as Abeka K4, some Logic of English. That's my teacher stuff. So it's kind of close to my desk, which you see here, and that's really nice. And then these clear bins have Abeka stuff on top. So those are some readers from the K4 program as well as grade 1. Back here is all the flashcards, which I use on the regular. So I'm glad I have those accessible. And then we have all of our clipboards for when we do school in the car. And then I have kind of a technology sort of bin. Really, we hardly ever use it. It's mostly headphones. So this is our bin of math. This I use on the daily. I come in here all the time for our hundreds charts, for our money cup, for the clock, for the manipulatives, for just anything that is math related. And I love it because I had it in a smaller bin last year and it just was overflowing. So this is a perfect size for that. And then over here, these are the Abeka Big Phonogram flashcards, the ones that are like 8.5 by 12. So those are all in there in page protectors. And then this bin is the bin I pull out all the time for our Logic of English. I just grab it and take it to the counter or take it to the table wherever we are. So that way I have all of the different flashcards, whether it's spelling flashcards, morphemes or grammar or phonograms, it's all in there. On top I put stuff that's more for me. These are my reference books, as well as I bought this to print off some of the Brave Writer darts and be able to store those kind of more long term so I don't lose them. Then that's a recipe box that I'm going to be using a little bit more for our scripture memory. I haven't totally set it up yet for the year, so I might do a video on that. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, that's up top. And then right off of there is the calendar. And this my daughter uses mostly. She's still in Saxon 3. And I imagine my twins and kindergartners will start using it more too. And right down here is the bin with all the numbers. And so she's able to kind of grab it there and put up the calendar because she works at my desk. So this is my desk and my computer, and that's where she works to get her Nicole the Math Lady done every day. And so I just have basic stuff on my desk, a lamp, my planner, my working binder, which I've talked a lot about lately, and just kind of some basic stuff. Up here I have a little kind of inspirational thing from Brave Writer that helps me just not be so fixated on checking boxes, and as well as our schedule, which I just made a video about. And then above, my books here, as well as a nice little picture, and it's all above my desk, and I just really love how it turned out. I do have some bins over here that are full of just kind of random office supplies, more for me than for my kids, like a 3-hole punch and some book tabs and things like that. So nothing too crazy. And then a huge plant, which I love, my little umbrella plant. It really helps bring some life into our schoolroom. I would add more plants if I could. I probably will going into the future. But like I said, this is the direction of our deck, and so it's still very accessible back there, which I just love. And then you kind of move over into this last corner, kind of by our fridge. And this corner I moved our marker board over here, which I was really happy about. Oh, I did not erase our logic of English. Sorry. A little lesson up there. But we have our clock. We have our new little station. It's a feelings station. Hence why we have a little beanbag here, is that this is a place that we can go to just chat about feelings, name your feeling, talk about your feeling, talk about the ways we can help ourselves calm down. I have a whole program about this, and we are using some of the cards kind of first thing when we're doing Bible. So I like this little corner, this little nook. Okay, so that's a tour of the room. And you might be asking yourself, like, where are all the art supplies? Where's all that kind of stuff? Because we do have that. It's over here. So this room is our dining room, and this is where we have our big hutch, and this is where all of the art supplies are. And all the watercolor and all the stuff is in there. I set it all up this summer. If you're curious, like, we have like our globe over there. We have like all our tea time stuff over there. Okay, so that was the art supplies. And then downstairs we have like a storage closet, which I showed you this summer as well. So that's our homeschool room and kind of storage. I try not to keep too much stuff. Honestly, I don't want it to clutter up. I feel like it's all has a place, and it's all very functional, and it's very needed and necessary. If it's not needed and used on the daily, I don't usually have it up here, except from like those kits I do have up here, and we don't use those daily. But for the most part, everything else we use on the regular. So that's our homeschool room. I would love to know if you have one, if you don't have one, if you travel school, if you kitchen table school, all the things, let me know. And again, let me know if you have any questions about all the stuff, but go check out my Amazon shop. Most of it's on there, or I will be updating it before I upload this video. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your school is starting off amazingly. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to. And you guys, I'll see you in the next homeschool video. All right, take care. Bye.